morning. Good morning. 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 Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Augie. Good morning, Lane. The Raiders win last night?
No.
Oh, good morning. Hey, you did the Cowboys. All right.
And then you add it to your powder. And then you start to okay, so like now for any black and like that, you can add and then and then you need your rhythm.
And you guys should finish up your last
all you would do is
like the because that's on here.
if you have a loss and then you break them down like you do with your and then you add all the products together and you get your final product.
Abigail and Tyler are ready to go. Avery's ready to go. Heidi and Kelsey are ready to go. Dylan's ready to go. Like how Ivy put her whiteboard and marker and eraser down beside her. Alright, I really like the because claps that I was hearing, guys. That tells me you guys were explaining your thoughts. You guys did a great job making eye contact with your partner. I also saw a lot of silent signals, okay? That was a fantastic job explaining your math vocabulary. Can anybody possibly explain why it might be helpful to know all three strategies in order to multiply whole numbers? Addie, you and Avery want to explain? Nice job talking to the speaker, guys.
So I think partial products means you're just decomposing the two products into smaller numbers, and then you add them all up at the end, and then you find your final product.
How do you guys feel about that? There's one word I would have changed, maybe. She said you decompose both products. What do you want to replace that with?
Factors.
Factors. How do you guys feel about that? I saw some of you guys going like this, and I could tell that you caught that. That was a great explanation, Avery. What else, Addie?
So area model, I think area model is you're basically doing partial product. So you break down both your factors, and then you have to put them in your box, and then you add all of your factors up, and then that's how you get your final product.
Okay, so with that, what do we call it when we break it down or we decompose it by place value? We learned this back in 3rd and 4th grade. It's 2 words. What do we call it when we decompose it. It's called, whisper it on your hand if you know it.
Inverse operation.
Expanded form. Let me get the inverse operation. That's when we switch the operations and we can check our work. Okay, when we decompose it into expanded form, we break it down by place value. Okay, last one.
I think a standard algorithm is like you're doing different steps to get your final product, and you're just doing different steps to get.
Yeah, you're just focusing on the steps, right? We don't really break it down or decompose it to where it makes more sense. That's kind of the, you just use a formula and you use different steps to figure it out. Okay, good job, guys. All right, let's go ahead and do Swabot. You got Swabot.
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 Students will.
Students will
Be able to.
be able to
Use. Standard algorithm.
standard algorithm,
Area model.
area model,
And partial products.
partial
To
products
multiply.
to multiply
Multi-digit numbers.
multi-digit numbers.
Swabot.
Swabot.
Teach.
Okay.
You got 30 seconds.
Using different multi numbers, and you're just using the different strategies to get answer products.
You got 30 seconds. So just try to summarize what Addie
To multiply, so basically they are different strategies, and you probably need to know them because then you can check them, and then basically since you can't always just do it in your head, you have strategies, so that might be good to know how to use the standard algorithm, area model, and partial products. So, but yeah, it's
I like how Abby is explaining other possibilities. Excellent. You guys basically just summarized what Avery and Addie explained and then just extended it or maybe put a little twist and explained something different, like math vocabulary words and things like that. Nice job tracking the speaker. Ivy, what else did you guys do? You and Allie? Or you have something that you want to add? No, you did that. Okay. All right. So this is what we're going to do. Guys, we're building upon what you guys learned in 4th grade. Okay, you guys are doing single-digit multiplication actually in 3rd and 4th grade. But instead of focusing on memorizing, what do we always use? You get one word, whisper it in your hand. You always use your
Strategies.
Always use your strategies, okay? So I'm going to read just a couple of pages of this story. Okay, it's little poems and little strategies for you guys to understand which ones that you can use with which digits. And then we're going to get right into your activities, okay? All right, here we go. This one is when we multiply by ones. It says one way. One is simple as can be. It's known as the identity. The answer to identify, it's the one you multiply. All right, who can stand up and tell us what strategy do we always use when you're multiplying by ones? Go ahead, Sarah. Go ahead, that's fine.
Well, I think is, one, if you multiply it by 1,000, it does not matter. You're still multiplying it. So if you do 1 times 1,000, it's going to equal 1,000.
How do you guys feel about that? Yeah? Anybody have something they want to add? Anybody want to add? What do we call that anytime you're multiplying by 1? What property is that? Allie?
I like what you said, Sarah, but I'd like to add on, and I think it's called the inverse operation.
How do you guys feel about that?
So if you do if you have one that says 1 times 5, then equals 5, and you had another one that said 5 times 1 equals 5.
Allie's looking at you guys because she's like, I'm seeing a lot of people politely disagreeing. Let's help Allie out. What property of multiplication? What property of multiplication is that called? Did you remember it yet? Otherwise you can have Riley help you out. Riley, help her out a little bit.
I like, I think it is the identity property
You got this.
because if you multiply it by 1, anything if you multiply it by, it will be the same thing.
How do you guys feel about that? Okay, so Allie was kind of taking a different route to it and kind of related to the inverse operation if you flip-flop the operations, if we have more equations at that same time. But anytime you're multiplying by 1, hey, use our resources up there. You guys have it. Identity, property, multiplication. Anytime you multiply something by 1, that other factor becomes your product. You've got one group of that. Okay? All right, let's try another one. Let's try the 5s. 5 alive. 5 will yield the right amount if by 5s you always count. Or else just multiply by 10. Half will get you there again. What strategy do we always use when you're multiplying by 5s? Always, always, always. Brielle?
When you multiply by 5, you count on your fingers like 5, 10, 15, 20.
How do you guys feel about that? Skip count every single time. Anytime you guys see a 5, I want to see those fingers out. Okay? Let's try one more. How about, let's try 8. 8 is very much like 4, simply double, but once more. Since 2 times 2 times 2 is 8, doubling 3 times works just great. That's one option. What's our strategy? Anytime you're multiplying by 6s, 7s, or 8s, any single time. What do we call that, Abigail? What are we always going to use?
We call that the distributive. We call that the distributive property.
How do you guys feel about that? Anybody want to explain and add on to Abigail's ideas on what we do? Go ahead, Ivy. If it's a 6 or 7 or an 8, how are we using that distributive property? What do we always want to decompose those factors into?
What we want to decompose is when it's a 6, you want to decompose it into a 5 and a 1.
How do you feel about that?
Since 5 is almost a friendly number. And for the 7, it would be 5 and 2. And for the 8, it would be 5 and 3.
How do you guys feel about that? Okay, we always pick 5s just because we can count on our hands. Okay, so everything that you guys are doing today, all of your activities, you're going to be working on multi-digit multiplication. All right, but it all can be broken down into single-digit multiplication. So use all of those strategies. Don't rely on your memorized facts. Okay, use those strategies. If you're struggling, you guys can figure it out. Okay, does that make sense? Are you guys ready to hear the games that you guys are playing today? All right, first up, we are going to, I'm going to partner you guys up. Let's do, Sarah, you and Dylan are going to be together first. Okay, you guys are going to play a Connect 4 game. There are 2 different choices here. There's 2 different game boards. One's a 3x2 and one's a 4x2. I'm going to let you guys choose which game board you guys want to play based on your level of confidence and your understanding, okay? You guys first can watch this video on multiplication. Okay, it's brain pop, so find somewhere maybe where it's not so loud. All right, grab whatever materials you need. Tyler, you and Kendall, exact same thing, okay? These next 2 groups, I want you guys to stay put until I give everybody their directions, okay? All right, grab whatever you guys need. You guys can get going. All right, let's do Riley and Tyler B. You guys are going to be partners. Allie and Abby, Abigail and Ivy, and Brielle and Nolan. You guys are going to be partners, okay? You guys are going to be doing some word problems. But you have a really fun game where you guys can play. All right, and then here's your word problems. What might you need whenever you guys are doing word problems? Tyler B. Highlighters. What else? Shout some things out.
Discussion cards.
Well, you're going to use your math discussion cards, okay? Maybe a pencil if you need. Okay, or your whiteboards, markers, erasers. You guys can grab whatever you guys need. And you guys are working on these. They're a little bit more challenging. Okay, it's up to you guys what strategies you're using. Does that make sense? Okay, you guys can go. There's 2 more. Whatever your partners. All right, you guys are going to be, good, way to work as a team, Abby. I'll find your partner first. You guys are going to be critiquing the work of somebody else. Okay, you guys have a bit of a challenge. You're going to have 1 group of 3. Okay, hands on top.
Everybody stop.
I'm giving directions right now, and these friends right here can't hear me. How can we change that? You need to whisper just for a little bit, okay? All right, find the next spot. You guys are going to be critiquing the work of other people. Okay, you guys can choose. You guys have partial products, you have area model, and you have standard algorithm. All right, you and your partner choose which one you guys are doing first. Should you guys do 2 examples of area model before you move on to partial products? Probably not. Do you guys have to do all of these activities? No, try and get at least 1 of each done. All right, make sure you're working as a team. You're going to have to find their mistakes and fix them and be able to explain what they did wrong or what advice you would give them in order to do it better next time. Does that make sense, everybody? Whoever has a group of 3, you're going to have a little bit more of a challenge. Okay, because you guys have 3 people to make sure you're on track. Make sure you guys have discussion cards, whiteboards, markers, and everything that you need, okay? Let's do Addie and Kelsey. You guys can go. Augie and Heidi. Let's have you guys go. Blaine and Avery. Why don't you guys go? Dylan, I'm going to give you a choice. Are you going to work with a partnership or do you want to work on your own? On your own? Okay, I thought you might pick that.
You can find a spot and I'll grab the
Okay, there you go. Alright, you've got about 30 seconds. I like how Abby's group is already ready to go. They have their discussion cards set up, highlighters, whiteboard, markers, ready to go. Go ahead, on Tyler.
Okay, did you find a spot?
Yeah. Ready to go? Good, Riley and Tyler are ready to go. They're highlighting keywords already. You guys are getting your discussion cards ready to go.
What keyword can I
A little bit, okay. Alright, so tell me that the listener first. Good.
Alright. How many appetizers should I
So what I think
Which keyword did you guys pick that you were going to do?
connect.
What made you just pick 3 by 2 instead of 4 by 2?
Sometimes I mess up and misplace the numbers not adding.
Okay.
So I thought I should do this.
And that one, okay, so you guys chose this based on your level of confidence first. So Sarah, you're thinking that I just need a little bit more practice before I move on to the harder ones. Okay. What do you guys, what operations are you guys going to do first?
I do standard algebra. Adding algebra to check it. Regarding visual operations, one to go around and one to check it.
Right here.
Okay, that's a good idea. You guys can start. Go ahead.
Dylan, since you're at the
So now we drop down to 0.
or how about we do 108 times 27? So let's do that.
And then we do
Standard algorithm, you can line it up like
so we
I know so much is 8.
so we add
Then
that
I'm gonna put 27 on
what did
bottom
you get as a total answer?
because if we put 27 on top, that would be
Do you guys agree with that? Does it matter which place our factor goes when we're multiplying? Like if let's just change the numbers like 5 and 2. Does it matter if we do 5 times 2 or 2 times 5?
If we did this together and we would have caught making a mistake.
No, will you get the same product? Yeah, do you guys remember what property that's called? Do you guys remember that? In like 4th grade. You can flip flop them, it doesn't really matter.
Is there a more effective strategy?
Yeah, commutative property multiplication, nice job. So does it matter which place they go when you're multiplying? No, but I did give you advice to put the one with more digits on top when you're doing standard algorithms, just because you're less likely to make mistakes, okay? Alright, keep it up.
So Dylan, what do you think 7 times 3 is?
Well, I don't really like to easy, so try the distributive.
By doing it a little bit.
Break down the 7 or the 8.
So we would need to make an average of 300.
Break it down to 5 and a. Well, I know if we break it down. If we break it down to 65, 75, this one has to be 5 and 3.
Why did you guys pick 5?
Well, I picked 5 because 5 is what we call a friendly number, and it's easy to multiply because we can do it on our hands, like 5, 10, 15, 20.
Perfect.
You know, we could do like 5 times 7 and 3 times 7.
Okay.
But you have to have 3 left over because we did 5 and it's numbers left over.
3 more to make 8. Alright, you guys don't have to explain every single step if you want. You guys can solve this and then keep working as a team, okay? Alright, keep it up.
5 times 7. And then we're gonna multiply these up and add them. And use my hands. Did you get 35?
Yeah.
32. And I got 21.
goal for you guys for next time, I love that you're using the distributive property. Next time, do you guys think that we could maybe do part of that in our head? Like instead of decomposing this off to the side, do you think you guys could do 7 times 5 and 7 times 3 in your head? And then that way you can go a little bit quicker. Okay, all right, but you guys are on the right track, okay? So keep it up, all right? I'm gonna come back and check and see who's winning Connect 4, all right? All right, keep it up.
So for this next part,
That's mine. That's mine.
and 12 equals 300.
All right, how's it going over here, guys?
Good.
Do you guys want to kind of explain what you've been doing?
We've been doing the area model, and first we just set it all up, and then we knew that 20 times 10, and if you use 10, all you gotta do to the number is add a 0.
Why?
Because it is 10 times the value of it.
Nice, yeah, it's 10 times the value of that. Okay, so I noticed you guys are doing the area model, and then you have found all of your partial products in here, and then what do you guys have to do with each of those?
Then we have to add each product up and get the does my solution make sense? Yes, main product. And then should I divide 300 divided by 12 and see what made
Okay, so you guys are doing division to check your work to see if you're correct. What made you guys decide to do that?
while I solved, we saw that there is in the inverse operation happening. Because we are kind of we're gonna see if this is our actual like.
Nice. Okay, so first you guys did your word solve. Which ones did you guys use on here? Highlighting keywords, okay? And it was a word problem, right? Did you guys talk about what the problem was asking you guys to find? What are you guys actually trying to find here?
We're trying to find how many she makes.
Oh, how many what? Oh, appetizers, that sounds good. Alright, you guys talked about what operations. So now you're doing while you're solving. Okay. Alright, keep up. I'm just gonna watch you for a minute, okay? You guys keep up learning.
First, we're going to do 300 divided by 12. So I know that 12 can't go in 3, so yes, I did it. 30.
How can I help
12
my
can go
partner?
into 30.
So one way I can help my partner is by maybe when you're checking your work, you could like check it
I think you can only go into it twice because, well, if we tried to do it 3 times, that would be 32. But if we just did it twice, that's 24.
You agree with that? 3 times is 32. You're on the right track.
And so,
How much is 3 times 12?
3 times 12.
Okay.
12 plus 24 plus 12, which is 36.
36, okay? And that's how much, that's what?
And that's 6 greater than what we need.
That's too much, okay? Alright, you guys keep it up, alright? I love that you're using your operation to check your work, and then I'm gonna see if you guys do for this card when you're done, okay? Alright, keep it up. Alright, how are you guys doing over here? Can you guys explain what you guys have been working on?
So we were working on critiquing Andy and Caden work because they were arguing who was right.
Kaden and Annie were arguing over who was right, so you guys have to critique their work to make sure. Okay, so what did you guys all find?
So we did partial products and we so first we did 7 times 9 which equals 63. 9 times 60 which equals 540, and then when we switched over to the tens place,
Okay.
which is 80 times 7, which is 560, and then 80 times 60, which equals 4,800. Then we added all those up, and we got 5,963. And whenever we worked up their work, then
Neither of them were correct? So they were arguing and then ended up neither of them being correct? Okay, what mistakes did they make?
So Annie, she did not have the right place value because she only multiplied 8 times 6 and 8 times 60 instead of 80 times 60 because she only had 480, but she needed to add another 0 because 80 times 60 is 4,800.
So she misunderstood her place value, right? Okay, what did Kaden do?
Kaden did the same thing, except she had 56. He actually had 506, but he did not do that. So then, since they didn't have the right place values, none of their products were the right answer. So over here we also did another way you could check it. 5,963 divided by 89 equals 67.
Hey, what do we call that when you guys were using division to check your work?
Inverse operation.
Yeah, you're doing the inverse operation, and did you guys actually get to solve that part yet to see if they're correct? Or are you guys still working on that?
We're still working.
Okay.
But they could have checked their work by using this, but they didn't.
So do you guys see the value in why we always use two strategies? Okay, the two multiplication strategies of multiplying and the inverse operation. So they would have taken the time to show one more strategy. Do you guys think that they could have solved their argument? Yeah, what else do you guys think might have helped them discuss better? Or what do you guys think?
So when we were in the line, Heidi and I talked about the question, and I think knowing three strategies is helpful because say like this problem you don't know that you're right or not, you can like use another strategy.
Yeah, what if you use two different strategies and you get two different solutions? What do you know?
Then one of them is wrong, and you go back to one of the first one.
Okay,
First
yeah.
strategy.
You're going to know that something went wrong somewhere, right? All right, keep working hard. You guys have to critique, you guys are partial products. Now you have to critique each other too. Area model and standard. All right, keep it up, okay?
So, place value. So because she did not.
Okay, which one are you guys at? Wait, who's the black cat?
What resources can I use?
Holy cow. She got a huge head start, didn't she? All right. Okay, where were you guys at? I saw you guys were flipping over the after I solved card. What were you guys solving on there? Or what were you guys discussing?
We're discussing 165 times 20.
Okay.
Do you want to do partial products or do you area model? I know that our product is 3,795.
Okay, and then did you guys see any of these questions that might help you after you solve? 3,795 what? Look through each of these questions and see if you can find one that makes sense on what I'm asking you guys to do. I see, does your solution make sense? What? Oh, what? Okay, yeah, go ahead. Ivy, explain what you're talking about.
So we didn't label in the last question, so we would do that and we took out this question.
Okay.
And it asked, did I label? And we didn't. So I think we should put
3,795. Okay, so right here, that one will help you. So when you guys finish a question, read each of these and it will ask you things like, is your solution reasonable? Okay, so like if you're multiplying two whole numbers, you know that your product has to get what? Bigger or smaller?
Bigger.
If you're multiplying whole numbers, it has to get bigger. So if your product ended up being smaller and you said, is this reasonable? Could that help you understand the mistake that you might make? Okay? Or what made you decide to use this strategy? What if you guys use two different strategies and Abigail, you used area model and you used standard algorithm and you were done really quickly and it was taking you forever and ever and ever? Okay? Then you can kind of ask yourself, well, what made me decide to use this strategy? Or why was Ivylin's strategy more effective? Does that make sense? And then, did I label as great? And the last one is always, how can I help my partner? Okay, so what advice can you guys give your friends either on your organization or anything like that, okay? All right, keep it up. Hopefully you wrote something good. Okay?
Sometimes 8 of 10 is 56. 56.
Hands on top.
Everybody stop.
We have about 30 seconds left.
Thanks, Ivy.
Okay, I'll grab the cards and the markers and
Alright, I like how we're working as a team. Hands on top.
Everybody stop.
You guys can actually leave everything where it's at. Okay, when I say the word of the day, you guys are going to do the poll on the board. You guys can walk up and just click the button. The question is for the poll, how confident are you in using the standard algorithm, area model, and partial products to multiply multi-digit whole numbers? Okay, product.
So, okay, let's do the poll first.
Thank you. struggling with this still a little bit? Yeah, absolutely. Be honest, that way I know exactly where to put you guys in your groups for next time, all right?